Making decisions. I want you to think about this because I want to say a few words today about how you and I, as people of faith, make decisions. But first, we kind of got to understand the spectrum upon which we make a choice. From choices we make that are literally inconsequential, they don't really have a lot of bearing, to the cosmic, seriously soul-shaking in their implications for life. Let me just give you the what if, for example. Okay, on the real light end, God doesn't really care if it's Cheerios or Wheaties. Now, I gotta just make this clear. You ever found yourself in the grocery store trying to decide, and you realize you're spending more time over breakfast cereal than you might on, like physical health? My favorite, though, of these, you meet somebody, you want to go out for lunch. Where do you want to go? I don't know. Where do you want to go? I don't know. Well, you pick. I picked last time. You pick. No. Well, what are you hungry for? I don't know. Well, how about if we go here? I don't want to go there. Well, where do you want to go? I don't know. Last night at 4:30 Mass, I said, they ought to make an app for this. And after Mass, a couple came up to me and said, "Here it is, Father. It's called Decision Maker." Because sometimes just pick. There is no significance that's tomorrow it's not going to matter. A week from now it's not going to matter. And Lord knows 100 years from now, right? But if that's on this end, crank this thing over to the other side, because there are choices and decisions that you and I make that affect us, our families, our loved ones, our friendship, our work, our classmates, our community. There are choices and decisions that you and I make, and there are more of them than sometimes we recognize, that have direct implications, direct ramifications, direct consequences. And we need all the help and strength in order to make sound, good decisions. With that in mind, I'm going to give 3 words to describe 3 different aspects in light of the scriptures today. The first word, inward. The second word, outward. And the third, upward. In, out, and up. The first one, inward. The scriptures, Solomon's looking for wisdom, and the wisdom of Solomon is legendary because he asked for it from God. But everybody has a certain amount of wisdom, insight, ability, talent, skill, and gift. Everybody has a certain level of that special awareness, and we're called to use it. I need to make this really clear. The first task when we are confronted by decisions is to put our best effort into it, given what we know. And the reason why this is so important is something called free will. God gives us this precious, holy, amazing gift, the gift to choose how we will live our lives, and we cannot, under any circumstances, take that for granted. That you and I are called to use the gifts that we've been given to the best of our ability to live and choose and decide. And that means we're called to bring our best effort, our best thought, our best instinct from the gut, from the mind, to say, how will I roll up my sleeves and dig in? Lord, you've given me this situation. Now, what do I think is the best way to proceed? We cannot short circuit or skip this. You and I have been given the gift of life, and we're called to use it and live it. Because one day you and I got to stand before Jesus, and he's going to ask one question: what did you do with what I gave you? Because what somebody's got is different than somebody else, which looks completely different from another. What have we done with what we were given? How did we use what we have received? How do we take to heart and live and ponder, reflect, and decide when we look on the inside? Our best effort with what we know and what we have. Okay, that's the first. The second component, though, is looking out. You see, the fact is, I'm not the sole source of wisdom. Just ask my sister. None of us have all the answers. We need each other. You have wisdom and insight and strength. You have an awareness, a perspective, an ability, a talent, a skill, and a gift that I don't have. Simply put, united we stand. We are stronger together than we are apart. We are better together than apart. We have more gifts, more talents, more perspective and awareness, more ability when we say, okay, this is the situation, how do you see it? Because maybe I'm missing something. We have opportunities, but you know what? Maybe I don't have the skills for this. And how often when we look at a situation and someone says, hey, what about this? And we go, oh my, I forgot that. I didn't see that. I didn't even know that. That when we take to heart the insights that others can bring, when we can take their gifts and their talents and set them on the table, we get a better choice. We get a better decision because we've got a bigger perspective. We're taking in the wisdom and awareness of others and bringing it to bear on this particular choice. That's a big deal. It recognizes the talents and skills that the individual has, but then it recognizes the talents and skills that the community has. Looking on the inside, looking on the outside, and then looking up. Because how often, when we get caught up in making big choices, do we miss getting down on our knees and saying, okay, Lord, me again. Lord, this is what I've worked this through, Lord. I've talked this out, Lord. Lord, I'm putting this on the table. I need help here. I need guidance here. Maybe I need courage to carry it out. Lord, I'm asking for your wisdom. I've looked inside, I've looked outside, now, Lord, I'm looking up. Now, obviously, I get called in on a lot of these at the hospital, at the nursing home, and one of those game-changing decisions that people have to make in life. And I oftentimes get to lead and be a part of that prayer. Happens, and we've all been there. But the thing is that there's a reason why the church in its wisdom encourages us to take even a few minutes every day on our knees. Because every day you and I are going to confront having to make big decisions. Every day. And sometimes we see them coming and sometimes they whack us upside the head and we miss it. But there are moments when we've got to make big decisions. And if we've been cultivating what we do on the inside, and if we've been cultivating the relationships on the outside, and if every day we check in with the Lord and say, I need your help, I need your wisdom, I need your grace, then we have just stacked the deck to render the best decision we can with what we have. Because we look on the inside, we look on the outside, and we look up. You and I have been given a gift. And when Solomon was given the gift of being the king of Israel, he knew he didn't have it all, so he asked God for wisdom. And when Jesus was talking to his disciples, he said, look, there are times in life when you're going to get a gift. Are you going to be ready to sell everything else and put your attention and energy on what matters? Will you see it? And then will you respond when those opportunities come? Because when we walk out the doors today, there will be opportunity, there will be challenge, there will be blessings, there will be burdens. Will we be prepared to make the decisions that life calls from us? And will we be able to do it from the best position possible? Having looked in, having looked out, and having looked up. This is the gift, the precious, sacred, holy, wonderful gift of life. May we take all three into account to live this gift for the glory of God. God bless you all.